Phase 3 was the return to lifting. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds.
Hated every second of that. Wouldn't want to do it. Why not?
I started to implement during the first phase was 5 minutes of breathing, ideally twice a day.
Ideally, 5 minutes should be 24 hours straight. You shouldn't be doing intermittent on and off breathing. Like OMAD, every other day diet, you eat for a day and then you don't eat for a day, or intermittent fasting where you eat only certain people. Breathing should be all the friggin' time. And so rather than thinking, oh, I'll breathe 5 minutes on, then I'll take a period. No, you just breathe. You don't need to experience breathing. I'm breathing right now. When I go to sleep at night, I don't think, okay, I'm going to breathe for 5 minutes. I just breathe.
I was doing the inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds.
Are you ready? Let's do the breathing exercise together. Ready? We're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. Ready? Hated every second of that. Wouldn't want to do it. Why not just get up? Why not just get up and go for a walk? Why would you do that? 5 minutes of that?
This was something I've always been told that I should do to chill the frick out.
And how's it working for you? You know what would be better than breathing in for 4, holding for 4, and breathing out for 6? Running for 5. Whenever you need to chill out and relax and all those things, go for a walk, or better yet, a jog, a run. Go and move around. Go and walk up and down the stairs for 5 minutes, and then you compare to me which one is better for you. Mental health. Is the breathing going to help you? Maybe. What is cardio going to do for 5 minutes? Absolutely going to help you. Cardio is better than most medications in order to help you feel better. What about the calorie burn? Breathing is not going to burn any more calories. Exercising it is. Exercise is going to burn off more body fat. You're going to help you lose weight. It's going to help you to live longer. Everything breathing can do, exercise can do better.
Probably the most active thing I had going on aside from the walking during phase 1 was light stretching.
Light stretching, when you're already extremely flexible, is not really beneficial. Now, if she was below average in terms of flexibility and she worked on her flexibility, that can help. It's analogous to this. If you're already doing 16 hours of cardio a week and you're a world tour professional bike rider, does doing more cardio, is it of benefit for you? Probably not. One more example. If you're already at 8% body fat, would it be beneficial for you to diet down to 6? No, it's not healthy. But if you're 30%, then absolutely go on a diet. And so don't think that just because you're stretching that somehow is beneficial.
Next thing I did during this time was journaling. Journaling for 10 minutes.
Rather than journaling, I suggest you make YouTube videos and post them. You can become famous. You can yell at the camera. You can do whatever you want. You can get all your frustrations out. And if you don't want to post it, you can just delete it later. Journaling, it's a bit slower. You're writing it down. Like, watch how emotional I am here. With words, remember, 78% of communication, it's nonverbal. And remember, you can not only just say the things you're saying, you can stress, you can enunciate certain emotions that much more.
The journaling was kind of hard to do. It's not my favorite thing to do. Similar to the breathing, it's kind of annoying.
And so if breathing and journaling are annoying, why not do cardio and scream while you're doing it? I don't know, play some music and yell. I don't know, run around and yell. Do jumping jacks and scream to the camera. Videotape yourself doing cardio. There's so many things better than breathing and journaling. I'm just saying.
Phase 2 was the reactivation phase. This was not yet going back to the gym, but starting to do some light body weight workout.
Useless. Useless. It will be analogous to this. You run marathons, and so getting back to it, you're going to walk slowly. And so if you can do hip thrusts with 300 pounds and you're thrusting nothing, then what, in fact, is the point? Doing this with no weight is doing nothing. And so perhaps she needs to go back there, do more of that, and get more of the D. The vitamin D from the sun.
I still wasn't really feeling good. Like, my muscles still weren't working. I don't like doing things like that. So the whole experience was like,
And so why are you doing this? If it's feeling like nothing, do something else.
Also, trying to express gratitude that I even have the opportunity to do that, which sounds low-key corny. I don't care what anyone says. It sounds like, okay, bro.
Bingo! Low-key corny. It's not corny whatsoever. It's essentially the main message I'm trying to make in this video. Stop thinking that you suck. Stop putting yourself down. Stop complaining. And be grateful you can do all of the amazing things that you can actually do. Do you know how many people can't even do a hip thrust with no weight whatsoever?
Phase 3 was the return to lifting.
Goal was to gradually increase my strength. I did start to feel better.
It's called progressive overload, Gruss mentioned. And what I like to say is to train harder than last time. And so what she should have done is not taken any of the time off whatsoever. She should have gone into the gym and taken a deload. She should have gone into the gym, put on lighter weights and just felt the pump and got out of there. Still go to the gym, but use much lower weights. She's saying she did 50% of the weight. So instead of, say, you're bench pressing 100 pounds, you go in and do 50. 15 reps, and you're done. Easy. Even if you're off performance-enhancing drugs, you're still going to be able to bench press more than 50% of your old weight. And so by doing that, it's essentially refreshing the load. The goal of the gym is to go harder than last time. If you were used to doing 100 pounds for 15 repetitions and you go in and you do 50 for 15, well, if the next day you go in and do 55 for 15, that was harder than last time. The next day, perhaps you can do 60 pounds for 15. It's not going to take 1 or 2 days where you're going to be stronger than you once were. You allow yourself some time. In university, kinesiology, and so on, people are going to refer to this as macro cycles. You're going to have mesocycles and so on. There's simply different periods during the year where you're able to go to a peak. You can't always be lifting your best. And so it's normal to be, as LeanbeefPatty is describing, and not able to lift as much as you once were. I don't care if it's cycling, cardio, lifting weights, strength, bodybuilding. You can't always be at your best. And so if you expect that, of course you're going to be depressed. You did a show, you competed 5% body fat, and now you're at 11. I look fat. No, you're comparing yourself to when you were 5. You have to then reset the bar. Powerlifting, it's the same thing. And so all she had to do was lower her expectations, go in and do 50 pounds for 15 reps, and go harder from there. If you're having a bad day and you can only get 50 pounds for 11 reps, that is your new standard. Can you then the next day go in and do 50 pounds for 12? And so whatever you did on that previous day, you try to go harder than that. And if you can't, that's okay. You tried. It's all about trying, everyone. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you were. And if you weren't better, can you be better the next time? And so no matter how bad a day that you had, the next day, can you do better than that?
For the first 2 workouts, I felt similarly to the way that I felt during phase 2, which was widely disappointed.
Yeah, if you ever use steroids, SARMs, peptides, whatever, and you stop using them and then you don't train for a month and you go back to the gym and you're thinking, I'm just going to lift with 60% of what I used to lift. And you're thinking, wow, this kind of feels heavy. It's only 60% of the weight I used to lift. It doesn't feel the same. You're not getting the same pump. They're not the same feel. But remember, what you once had, it's easier to build a second time. It's called muscle memory. And so whether it happened through mental health, you stopped training for the gym, in which you shouldn't have stopped, but you're watching my videos and you're learning the error of your ways. And once you return, it should come back faster than last time. Now remember, if you were using steroids and you're not on them this time, most likely you're not going to get that strength back. It's not the way that it works. But please have lower expectations. Whatever you lifted in the past, forget about that. What are you lifting right now? When I continue to lift weights and I'm 80 and I go to the gym, am I going to remember, hey, when I was 35 and I was setting world records in the bench press, for example, 400 pounds for 15 or 3 plates for 32 repetitions, and I can't even bench it for 1. Eventually, when I'm old, like for example, when I'm 90, I won't be able to bench press 225 for a single reps, despite the fact I used to do it for 54 reps. And so am I just going to go to the gym and be depressed every single time I go to the gym because I'm going to remember how strong I used to be? No, you reset the bar, because I don't want you to give up, in particular when you get older. In particular, once you've used and abused performance enhancing drugs, you're most likely never going to lift or feel the same way ever again. Remember, I'm not going to try to trick you. I abused steroids for approximately 10 years. I cannot lift as much as I once did, yet I still go to the gym and I train harder than last time. Do I compare myself to when I was on test and trend? Of course not. I would be depressed every single day. I used to go to the gym and I would put the stack and see how many reps could I get and everything. Hey, 18 reps today, 20 reps, whatever. Now, I'm not even putting the entire stack. Oftentimes, I'm putting a couple pegs below that stack, but I don't think, oh, I'm so weak, I'm so bad. I do what I have to do. I also had triceps torn off the bone. My triceps are not as strong as they once were, but yet I still train and I don't complain and say, oh, I'm depressed. I'm going to take a month off. I need some mental health. I just train.
I'm also working really hard on being mentally gentle with myself because that's not easy.
Oftentimes we treat other people better than we treat ourselves. Would you tell that other person that, hey, she's fat, he's fat. He's ugly. He doesn't look so good. His nose is too big. Gross. But yet you'll say it to yourself. Why would you do that? Why are you nicer to other people than you are to the most important person here on this planet? And that's not even your mom or your dad, nor your spouse or significant other. It's yourself. You are the most important person on this planet. More important than Coach Greg, more important than everyone. And so why on earth would you ever say that to yourself? You are the prize. Start treating yourself like it.
I don't feel 100% like before, but I'm working on it. And more importantly, I'm working on being mentally kinder to myself.
She's locking back in. She doesn't feel at 100% like she did before, but let's say she's only at 50%. That is the new baseline. She's feeling 50% now. Perhaps next month, 55%. The next month after that, 60%. Worry about being better tomorrow than you were today, and better today than you were yesterday.
The biggest thing was stress and some other aspects happening in my personal life. Maybe also some nervous system fatigue and overtraining.
Nervous system overload. Sometimes people abuse stimulants too much. So for example, if you're triple scooping the Blue Lobster twice a day, that could in fact be boosting up your cortisol. If you're stressed at work, financially, you don't have a job. And so for some people who are like you and are unemployed, I see the comments. So many of my followers are in fact unemployed.
Because when you're stressed or you're overtraining or you're bugging out your nervous system, your body is not going to prioritize your muscle recruitment during your workouts.
And so remember, whether it's abusing the Blue Lobster or it's like Togi abusing recreational substances, we have no idea what people are doing. Behind closed doors, oftentimes people they show you just the tip. Hey, I'm sorry. Most people show you the tip of the iceberg. I show you almost everything. I can't show you everything. I can't show you the area in this area. I'm not going to have an OF. And so we don't know if somebody's perhaps, for example, sniffing creatine or doing a lot of math. The list goes on and on. And so you don't know what is physically happening inside of their bodies, which can lead to burning out. Don't forget to prioritize your health, and that involves both the mental, the physical, the social, and the spiritual. All these in unison encompass what it means to be healthy.
I think it's very common for people to push this mentality of like, oh, you're feeling bad, just push through it, just push harder. Absolutely, that can be the method.
That can be the method. And so this is my method. This is David Goggins' methods. Other methods are just to hide back. If it works for you, if that works, then you do you. I'm telling you what works for me. And I don't think that giving up on the gym, which is the one stable anchor that you have, is the way to do it. But if it is, hey, it is.
But sometimes it's not the right move, and that's okay. That can be hard to accept. Sometimes the best way to move forward is actually to take a step back.
And by stepping back, I don't think it's giving up on the gym for a month, doing nothing. I think it would be involving perhaps taking a deload, going to the gym, continuing to train for both your mental and physical health, but giving yourself permission to go half-ass. But you go to the gym and instead of pushing yourself to your limit, you take a step back. Taking the complete time off for a month and just doing some hip thrusts and stretches and slowly going for a walk, unless you're suffering from mono, I don't think that's a wise choice.
I'm curious if anyone else has ever experienced this sort of thing where your muscles are just not working. And if you have, what became of that?
And so if you want to know what it's like to stop taking SARMs, steroids, performance-enhancing drugs, please go and watch Lean Beef Patty's video from start to completion. And if you want to be sponsored by HDLT supplements or get coaching plans from else or my team, or to carry all of the supplements in your stores and or gym, click all of the links. There's links for everything here. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button. Watch all the videos, including the top video of those two right now. And until next time, I am out.